All right, the answer to the question from my friends who've been asking me lately, what am I doing to stay in shape? And they keep making little comments about, damn, you're going backwards. You're getting in better shape as you get older. So they asked me what my exercise routine is. That's not it. So I'm going to give you the short answer and the long answer. Now, most of you are not going to listen to me after you hear the short answer. That's fine. Turn it off. It's not for you. So the short answer is of why I'm staying young in the face of being a type 1 diabetic and everything else that I did in the past. Just in case you don't know, I lived a very unhealthy lifestyle, bad, and I was sick for most of my teen years in my 20s. And I reversed it. And I suppose they're asking me this because I am aging, but I'm not aging, I guess, like the average 43-year-old. That's how old I am. I'm 43. And I'm running around like a kid all of a sudden. So the short answer is I chose to follow God with my free will. I chose God over the devil. Click, turn it off, he's nuts. There ain't no guy in the sky giving him all this information. And you're right, there is no guy in the sky giving me all this information. Because that's not my definition of God. That's your definition of God. And where did I come up with this? My explanation? From God. And if you listen, you'll understand. So, what is God? Always define the terms. Well, my definition of God is all that is good. Good feelings. Peace, joy, love, happiness, excitement, learning, enlightenment, helping, hard work, the opposite of laziness. Actually, no, that's heaven. God is the creator of heaven. You, me. All that is good. What is the devil? What is hell? Envy, jealousy, things of the flesh, that hardcore competition, narcissism, laziness, pain, bad feelings. So if you follow the devil, bad feelings, envy, jealousy, you tear other people down around you, you go to hell, bad feelings. If you follow God, working with others, helping, being a good human being, following the word of the book, hard work, enlightenment, learning, choosing peaceful things, taking care of your body. We only get one on this life. You go to heaven. Good feelings. Peace, joy, love, happiness. I never heard youth added in there, but I'm going to add it in. Check it out. That's why I do all my my showering. So, in 2005, I hit rock bottom. And the people around me know that. Rock bottom, bad. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but it was bad. The future was looking grim for me. In fact, I don't think I had a future at that point. But I was falling asleep one night when I used to watch television. I was up the last day I watched television too. And I had the TV on. I was waiting for Aqua Teen Hunger Force to come on. Anybody that knows it, I thought it was funny. I used to leave it on and I would hear the theme song come on and I would start laughing. That part of me was still alive. The rest was gone. But not for long. So, 4 minutes. I felt a little nudge like in the back of my neck. And like a woman's voice, not in a human voice, like saying, basically trying to get me to look up at the television. Look up. And I did. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there, half asleep, and I see this guy going, "Don't you people get it? If a cure for cancer got out, the entire cancer industry would collapse. All the corporations would go out of business overnight. Hundreds of thousands of people would be out of business, out of jobs overnight. The stock market would plunge. It would be a threat to national security. And just like that, bam, I woke up. Because what he was saying, how could you argue with that? That is what would happen. And then you just kind of put two and two together of all the players in the game. Well, this wouldn't be good for this one. This wouldn't be good for this. Well, no shit. It seems so obvious. And that was the first time in my life I heard someone talk that truthful. That's how I was always thinking in my mind. And I was always told, oh, I'm crazy for saying this stuff, you know? And it reminded me of the crucifixion. Well, this guy, his name was Kevin Trudeau, and he wrote the book Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. So I read it. I found it in a store 2 weeks later, at a store that I never thought would sell it because it was completely opposed to the store's business model and basically everything they sold in there. But I read it, and it changed my life. I read it in like a few days. I think I got it on like a Friday afternoon. I went home like a kid running out of a candy store with the goods, and I read it, and it changed my entire life. I learned stuff in there that was outside of the matrix or God's. And this book doesn't mention God in there, I don't even think. But I've read it like 10 times since. And I dedicated my life to God. Again, the book is not about religion or God. Stay with me, you'll understand. I gave this guy a chance. I listened to what he had to say. I didn't tear him down. I didn't listen to the reviews on Google that he's a conspiracy theorist and he's crazy and all the other idiots on there making comments that they should hang this guy and skin him because somebody said that he ripped people off. Well, how do you know? Let him speak. That we're all good Americans, innocent until proven guilty. Well, now the idiots in the media, actually I can't even say they're idiots. They convince all the other idiots out here in the Matrix to do the witch hunt. And what happens when you join a witch hunt? You're following the devil. You're going to hell. You're putting yourself in hell, free will. You're following the devil. Envy, jealousy, greed, laziness. Why research it for yourself? Just jump on and join the witch hunt. It'll make you feel powerful to tear somebody down that you don't know anything about. That's the Matrix. Now, what is the Matrix? The Matrix is the results, the thoughts, and everything that the majority of people are creating. Anybody that lives follows the devil. Envy, jealousy, greed, tearing each other down to gain status. That's the Matrix, and it's a series of lies. All lies. Everything. There's very little truth in the Matrix. Truth, God. Lies, devil. So over time, you have all these people creating their reality. You know, this guy wants to impress some woman, so he comes up with some invention, and then people find out it's bad, it's hurting people. Well, he's not going to give that up. He'll just create a witch hunt in the media. This person's evil, and the idiots will follow. Other people in the Matrix will follow it because they're also looking for status and power. And over time, everything that is told to be true is a lie. And if you follow it, you go to hell. One of the things in hell would be aging fast. Right? So because I chose to follow God, I stepped out of that matrix. And I'm following the truth. God, truth. Everything I've done in the past, from the time I was 29 till now, this is the result today. So again, to answer the question, and this is answering the question, I chose to follow God. I stepped outside of the matrix, all the conventional wisdom, all the shit that's supposed to be true, which is, most of it's not. Some of it is. And I'm not bashing the medical industry because there's a lot of good. In fact, if it wasn't for the medical industry, I wouldn't have got my insulin pump back then, you know, and I would have died. I would have passed away at 16, 17. So yeah, and there's a lot of good. You know, mistakes happen, accidents happen. You know, we need a medical industry. And pharmaceutical companies are not all bad. I'm not bashing them. But there's a lot in that matrix that's lies. So, law of attraction. Let's say somebody, you know, their entire life is focused on tearing other people down to build themselves up, right? So they're doing that. They're tearing everybody around. They're lying. Everything about their company, their job is a lie. It's all lies. They go out and meet up with their friends on the weekend and tear other people down very subtly. You know, the child version of being the bully is just flat out just kick the shit out of them. Adults do it very subtly with words. And sometimes they do go crazy, like psychopaths, and murder someone.
Gluttony. Gluttony is of the devil. Gluttony will bring you to hell. What do most people do? They eat their 3 meals a day. You don't need to eat that much. It's completely ridiculous. You really think it feels natural to count your calories? What is the feeling you get? When someone told me that, count your calories and all this, a little different. I had to count carbs because I had to match it to the insulin. But count your calories, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel right. Feel. How would God speak to you? He doesn't have a body. Through a feeling, instinct. Some people call it the universe. And then the idiots that define it by universe and the idiots that define it by God will fight each other over whose version is right. Nothing changed. It's the same crap today. Gluttony. Most people are eating themselves to death. Your body can replace damaged cells when it's in a state of fasting. But you can't just fast like a couple days every couple years. Make it part of your life. You don't need to eat 3 meals a day. Anybody that has medical conditions, different story. But for the average person, why? What animal on planet Earth wakes up and has a ready-made meal for breakfast? What drives the lion on the hunt? Hunger. So if you wake up and you're slamming down all this food, you lose motivation. What do most people complain about? I get tired around lunch. No, I need to pick me up a coffee. No, you don't. Tastes good. It helps a little bit. But if it's ridiculous, because they're following hell. Gluttony. It's easier to sit around and stuff your face. Right? Think about it.
Inside that matrix is all lies. And the people that do that, law of attraction, like attracts like. If you're into biking, you're probably going to attract other people into biking. Get it? If you're tearing other people down, well, you're not going to be able to relate with somebody that's into peace, joy, love, and happiness and cooperation, right? You're going to attract other people who are doing the same. And guess what? When you all congregate, well, you're tearing people down to boost yourself up. They're tearing people down to boost themselves up. So guess what? You're a person. They're going to tear you down. Law of attraction. Like attracts like. So again, if you follow the devil, you're going to get what's inside that matrix, which is a bunch of lies. The doctors don't want you to age slow. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to cure your diseases. They're violently opposed to it. So if you follow all that information, what do you get? I didn't follow the information. I chose to follow God. Good. Truth. I didn't compete with anybody. And my life has changed ever since. I didn't tear anybody down. I heard things, and we were all exposed to this information. Anytime I hear something, especially from the media, I automatically am skeptical. You should be skeptical. Understand human nature. So, I saw what I was doing wasn't working, that I was sick. I was almost bedridden, pretty much. Anybody that was around me at the time knows that. And I was being pressured to sign myself over to a state home. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Something's not right here. Because those people that were trying to get me to do that, they were following the devil. Well, they could have made profit off of me. It probably maybe boosted up their confidence to have this young guy's life destroyed. Haha, look at me. They followed the devil. I followed God. Now, some of these people I still know. They're still around. And they went to hell. They're in bad feelings. They're complaining all the time about their horrible lives. My life's not great. By most people's standards, I would be broke poor. But I chose to follow God. This is God's country. This is truth. There's no lies out here. It could be a dangerous environment. But as humans, we shouldn't have to fear nature. We are kind of on top of it. So that's my answer as to how I'm staying in shape. Now, I've read so many books in the last 15 years, there's no way I could tell you all the things I'm doing. So, to my friends who keep asking me these things, you could follow God and listen to me, give me a chance, or you could follow the devil, and just say, he's crazy, he's a conspiracy theorist, he's nuts, he makes up all this stupid shit. I know, let's try to mess him up. Let's try to trip him up a little bit. Let's keep offering him food that he doesn't want to eat and make him look stupid in front of everybody, or all this nonsense. A lot of it, this is how adults behave, like little toddlers. Let's create a smear campaign against him. Tell everybody he's crazy. It's just some magical thing that happened, why I turned everything around. Go ahead, believe it. Not my fantasy, yours. Lies, the devil. Truth, God. And I barely scratched the surface over what I'm doing, why I'm getting this result. So this, I called it the long answer, but I really shouldn't call it the long answer. It's part of the long answer. Just barely scratching the surface of the long answer. Because think about it. If you want to learn trigonometry, well, if you don't even know the basic numbers, well, what does someone have to do? They got to show you what the numbers are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to learn basic math, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Ooh, multiplication, that came before division. I almost forgot that in a lot of years. You're going to have your flashcards. Well, some people would say, okay, I'll do the hard work, the truth, God, and I'll learn it. It's going to take a long time. Some people would follow the devil, which they would give up, say, this is too hard. I don't want to put in all that effort. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to tear this guy down that knows trigonometry, make fun of him, create a smear campaign against him. And a lot of people do this stuff. And what are they going to get? Hell. They're not going to learn trigonometry. Wouldn't their life be better learning it? Heaven. Hell.
And in that matrix, the lies, hell, what I did was supposed to be impossible. Now, I'm not going to claim I cured anything, because I have a different definition, but I'll tell you this, I supposedly had all these so-called incurable things wrong with me, and they were supposed to be for life. I don't anymore. I didn't cure anything, but I don't have them.
So who's made it this far? What do we got? 15 minutes of me talking. Tell me what you think in the comments. I knew if I answered this in person, it would go nowhere. This format's a little better. So, and I don't think that I'm aging slow. I think I'm actually aging fast. According to what's in the Bible. Hey, there was a reason why these people supposedly lived hundreds of years. But at 43, yeah, I pretty much skateboarding, biking, jogging. I work out a little bit, and a lot of stretching, push-ups and stuff like that. Sit-up, a lot of sit-ups. Do a lot of core exercises because it helps with skating, helps with everything. Everywhere I go, I'm nonstop exercising. Even if sometimes I'd be dressed up for work, and I would see a guardrail, I would jump over it. I chose to follow God. Truth just came to me. I just wanted to jump over it like you would as a child. Most people would mock me and say, oh, he's acting like a little kid. Would you grow the hell up? They're choosing the devil to tear me down, right? Instead of do the hard work, and you could bring yourself back to that mental state. Get it? God, devil. I chose to follow God, and I went to heaven. If you choose to follow the devil, you go to hell. All right, we're going to call this part 1 of I don't know how many parts. But stick with me, keep watching the channel, and I'll let out more and more as time goes on. And it could take years, honestly. It took me 15 years to learn what I learned. So there's no way I could put it into a sentence, a paragraph. It's impossible. Maybe it's possible in some other realm, but I can't do it. I'm admitting that. I can't do it. All right, so long, everybody. Check it out. Isn't it beautiful out here?